right now. Literally every second counts here in overtime. CP24 Steve Ryan will check in with you very shortly. Meantime, looks like we have a goal. Leafs won it, breaking a nearly 2-decade streak. CP24 Steve Ryan, let's soak this in.
So Leafs just scored, and you can hear the crowd. I'm not sure who scored the goal. It looked like Morgan Riley may have scored it. We've got security here right now trying to keep these barricades up. The Leafs have done it. It's the first time since 2004 that they were able to capture the first round of the playoffs. And as you can imagine, here at sea, it's pandemonium down here right now. Way to go, Maple Leafs. That was a good goal, by the way. Good goal by, I think it was Morgan Riley. So,
Steve, I know fans are not able to come on this side of the barrier where you are. Are there any fans you're able to chat with right now?
That's right.
Seconds after that goal?
Yeah, I'm just saying, thanks for, I'm just thanking the security guy for keeping these people away. Okay, what are your thoughts?
Great game. Let's go. Finally break the curse now. Second round, here we come. Slow it up. Better do it. Let's go.
Now, they're off to Boston.
Sorry?
Hey, they're off to Boston.
We're ready. Boston, we got this. Second round, we're going to the cup.
You're actually shaking. This is really important to you.
Sorry? Could you repeat? I can't.
So you're shaking. You're that excited.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I can't. I have no words. I have no words.
Oh, she's crying.
Hey, what's a sorry about that language there. And somebody in my ear, I said Boston, and I didn't get the other team. Who was the other team they could be going over against?
It's Florida, Steve. I gotta say.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, I gotta correct myself. I assumed it was Boston, but that series is still going on, so it's either Florida or Boston. But if we can get a look at this young woman right here, you're crying. How do you feel about this?
I never thought this would happen. I never thought I'd actually get to see them win a playoff series. This is the best day of my life.
Were you expecting this, or were you kind of expecting a Game 7?
I mean, I knew they had the talent to do it, but they had to believe in themselves, and I'm so fucking happy right now.
Okay, you gotta watch the language, okay? So I'm sorry, apologize for the bad language here. She's a little excited, so. Listen for a second and let you hear the crowd. Just listen to the crowd here.
Yeah, I want to apologize for that language there. Hard to believe, Steve, too. A lot of these people weren't even alive the last time this happened. The last time the Leafs advanced to the next round in the playoffs.
Mark, I would suggest that the majority of them down here right now weren't alive in 2004 when the Leafs beat the Ottawa Senators. But what a series. The Leafs stepped up like people were, some were expecting them to, I should say, and some were doubting them based on the history, based on the poor game that they played the other night. But I got to tell you, in my opinion, Samsonov is the star of this game. He took away 4 or 5 goals from Tampa Bay, and it could easily have been a 4 or 5-1 win for Tampa Bay. But that's sport, and again, I'll quote Kayla, pressure is privilege, and those players that were on the ice there were the privileged players, the star players, and Morgan Riley was one of them, and he ended that streak, got the monkey off the back of the Maple Leafs, off the city of Toronto, and now they're on to series number 2. Will it be Miami, or will it be Boston? Remains to be seen.
Steve, another thing I wanted to chat about, they did this not on home ice. So that's another feat for the Leafs. This was done at an away game.
That's that's a good point, Mark, and that's actually even more impressive if you're a young goaltender, because you can imagine looking down the other end of the ice, and you've got Vasilevsky down there, who's won not only a Stanley Cup, but he's a Vezina Trophy winner. So you've got a goaltending battle, and you're a younger goalie. You're not on home ice. Fans aren't very friendly towards you on the ice, and he stepped up. So I think this young goaltender has proven himself, and he may be the future of this hockey club, because I'm telling you, as everybody that watched the game, I'm sure will agree with me, yes, the team played well and the stars played their star roles, but Samsonov dug himself out of a hole from the other night's game, and he took that game away from Tampa tonight. Tampa could have easily won this game, and we could have been back here for Game 7, but just before Kayla and I did our last hit, Samsonov kicked out the right pad. The puck was almost in the net, and he kicked out his right pad, stopped that puck, and off they went. So good for the Leafs, and good for that young goaltender. He is a star up and coming, and he proved his worthiness. Mark, I'll say this before I throw it back to you. When you play that type of game, that's not a fluke. With that pressure on you, and you're expected to do that job, and you come out and you do an outstanding job in the net like you did, that's not a fluke. I think he showed his abilities, and I think he showed what Toronto fans can expect as their goaltender for years to come. And he's going to be the Doug Gilmour, the Curtis Joseph type of star here in the city, in my opinion.
Steve, one more thing I wanted to ask you. Captain John Tavares, who scored that winning goal coming back from an injury. Talk about that goal. I remember covering the night he was in the hospital. It doesn't feel like that long ago. Now he helped make an incredible move onto the second round.
That's what makes those star players. They overcome that adversity. They overcome those injuries. They play with that pain. I was describing in one of my last hits how Stamkos laid his body down in front of a 90-mile-an-hour slap shot and took it in the back of his thigh. He got up, looked off the ice, and came back, and Samsonov took another scoring chance away from him. So that's what makes those players. They're a special breed, and they play through that adversity. And again, you're looking at Matthews, Tavares, Riley, Samsonov, and for the Lightning, Stamkos scored that goal as well. So star players become star players when they need to be star players, and that's what we saw tonight. A lot of tears, Mark. I got to tell you, I am actually surprised at the emotion of these young fans that are here. As you said, a lot of them weren't even born when the Leafs beat the Ottawa Senators in 2004, and there are a lot of happy tears being shed down here at Maple Leaf Square tonight.
Oh yeah, you can feel the excitement. So much excitement there as fans celebrating. Another storyline I wanted to get to, Steve, is there are a number of Toronto-born players on this team. Michael Bunting, John Tavares, who are from Toronto. Talk a little bit about the meaning behind that, how important that is for the team as well, and the city.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, any kid growing up playing hockey, and I'm sure I speak for millions of them, and I was one of them growing up playing hockey, you always dreamed of playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Whether you're on the ice playing or you were playing ball hockey in the fall, back when I was a kid, we never had the nets. We used the leaves, the leaves from the trees as nets. And every time I smell that fall smell of the leaves, it reminds me of playing ball hockey. But you were always Daryl Sittler. Now I'm going to age myself. Dave Keon. If you're a goalie, you were Rogie Vachon. But you want to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and to have that many hometown players on the Maple Leafs, that certainly would be special, not only for the players, but for the city as well. And I think that's why you're seeing the emotion that you're seeing right now. Toronto is Canada's team, and these fans have embraced the Toronto Maple Leafs decades ago, and they've held on to that grasp, and they haven't let it go. Just look at the reactions.
It's incredible to see that reaction. Yeah, and Steve, another thing, I mean, even from almost where we are here at 299 Queen Street, you could hear that crowd, the roaring of that crowd when that goal was scored. Talk about the energy, the vibe that you're seeing already. I mean, we're watching these pictures right now of these excited fans. Talk a little bit about that, the energy that you're feeling around you right now.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, Mark, is the energy is coming as a result of we did it, a sigh of relief. It's like letting the air out of a balloon, because as optimistic as these fans were, many were saying to me off camera as we were just chatting throughout the night that they cannot believe it's going to happen. The Leafs have, let's be honest, have disappointed the city of Toronto so often, and not intentionally, of course. I mean, that is sport, but Toronto Maple Leaf fans have been let down for so many years, and I think you're seeing the result of that right now. So as much as the positive energy you're seeing, I think a lot of that is coming from we have finally did it. We have got past hurdle number 1. Now we'll regroup and go on to hurdle number 2. But it is absolute pandemonium down here, and let's not forget, this is only round 1. Can you imagine? Imagine what will happen if they get through round 2 and then round 3. I don't want to put the cart before the horse and go on, just get past round 2, but just imagine what it's going to be like if this is the reaction after winning 1 playoff series.
I was going to say too, Steve, I mean, at this point, in terms of soaking this in and celebrating as a team, and then regrouping at the same time, talk about that as well, because obviously they want to enjoy this. Something that hasn't happened in nearly 20 years, but they've also got to be ready to move on to the next round in a matter of days.
Yeah, moving on to the next round in a matter of days, but I think right now these fans just want to enjoy what's going on right now. So I'm going to talk to you guys, but let me tell you, watch your language, all right? I'm going to tell you right now, watch your language and give me your thoughts on the game.
All my thoughts on the game, I can't wait to see Boston or Florida. They have no idea what's come to them. They have no idea. They don't know what's coming. My thoughts to the game, Tampa, enjoy your next season. When all your fucking...
Hey, I asked you to watch your language, right? So, no, don't apologize to me, but we're done with that. So, these guys are excited, of course, and you know, some of them are drinking, so it's hard when we try to interview fans. Of course, you understand, Mark. Some of them are drinking, and the language sometimes gets out of hand. But they are very excited, and I'm going to throw it back to you for now, Mark.
Steve, another thing I've noticed is almost everybody is right there. We're going to check back in with you shortly.